It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It's that time for another weekly cup of coffee from Slumberland at the lake. Of course, I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
And Uncle Chris, we don't know exactly the results, but election has come and gone. Wow. Are you glad it's over?
Yes, but it's not really over because that was just the primary. Now we got the general election coming up, and it's even going to be worse.
All right, so don't get too comfortable. We're going to talk about some local headlines. We're going to follow up on the Curfew story, historic Bagnell Dam Strip. That's getting a little juicy, if you will, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and for good reason. I mean, this is a really good subject to ponder over and see if it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that we have a shock in Lake of the Ozarks. We're going to talk about drownings up here in Missouri in 2026. We got a special pre-order you're not going to want to miss. And you remember Coach Rob Harrelson?
Yeah.
Savannah Bananas. We got a couple of stories that he's included in this week, that and a whole lot more. But first, we've got this from our great friends right here at Slumberland at the Lake.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're in the middle of our 59th anniversary sale. So what's that mean to you? 59 months of interest-free financing for furniture for every room of the house. We've got great discounts to go along with the sale, and we deliver the entire lake area. That's right, 59 years, up to 59% off, and 59 months of interest-free financing. Come check it all out at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
A cup of coffee as we wake up, in the car, or right here on Lake TV with Will and Chris. Kind of like driving, we do it every single day.
But we shouldn't do it while distracted. Did you know that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash? So keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe message brought to you by Price and Randall Injury Attorneys.
Now back to your cup of coffee with Will and Chris.
Yeah, a reminder, drive safe, boat safe, brought to you by our friends at Price and Randall Injury Attorneys. And also want to give a shout out to Lindy Spring, Lake of the Ozarks, the official water of Cup of Coffee here on Lake TV. And I just started getting delivered Clubhouse coolers for the kiddos. They're these little bottles of fruit juice, come in 3 different flavors. They come in big cases, but the thing I love is they don't have artificial colors. They don't have the sugar like a lot of juices and Gatorades have. So you can get those as well delivered to your house from our friends at Lindy Spring. I can see you getting some of those.
Oh, yeah. You got to be careful about what you're eating and drinking nowadays because there's a lot of crap in the food. But you're right. Some of those drinks, some are good, some are not so good.
All right, so our first headline, it's the big one of the week, right? Everyone thinking election. Well, we don't know what happened in the election. We encourage you to go to our Facebook page where all winners were posted Tuesday night, as well as the voter turnout. And you can pay attention to next week's Cup of Coffee as well as a full breakdown and our recap of, in response, we'll try to get a couple of the winners to give us some commentary. But for this week, it's the curfew on the historic Bagnell Dam Strip for minors proposed, right? So this issue has quickly become one of the most talked about topics here at Lake of the Ozarks. Should minors be subject to a curfew on the historic Bagnell Dam Strip? The supporters say it's about public safety and preventing problems before they happen. Now, people opposed say it's government overreach and that it could hurt families and local businesses. So I attended last week's Lake Ozark Board of Aldermen meeting, which drew a packed crowd, passionate testimony, and plenty of debate. Since then, social media has exploded from opinions from every direction. So today, let's just slow down a little bit, Uncle Chris. We're going to take a closer look at what actually happened and where the proposal stands today.
Okay, so according to officials, right, and Lake Ozark Police Chief James Boren, the proposal was not introduced because of one isolated incident. It's not just one thing. It's like a buildup of things, right? So Chief Boren has said the concern centers around maintaining public safety on the historic Bagnell Dam Strip, of course, and giving officers another tool to address situations before they escalate. And that is a huge point there, and probably a wise point there. So the concerns include large groups of unsupervised juveniles gathering late at night. Obviously, that would be a concern. Fights and disturbances, obviously, that's another concern. Vandalism and disorderly behavior, and the potential for something much more serious happening if preventative measures are not put in place. All that seems to be very wise to me, right? Okay, well, supporters argue that it isn't about punishing responsible teenagers or discouraging families from visiting the Strip. Instead, they believe it's about preventing problems before they happen, while helping, keeping one of the lake's busiest entertainment districts safe for everybody, right? I mean, that just seems smart.
And now one of the interesting takeaways from Tuesday's meeting was several business owners who actually operate on the Strip support the proposal. Among them were a handful I spoke to off the record.
Yeah.
Craig and Monica of Marty Bird's Gastropub, whose position was read during the meeting, and they thought it was a good thing. They also made an important point. While they supported the curfew, they also stressed they want law enforcement to continue aggressively enforcing the laws that are already on the books and issue citations to those who are creating the problems. That seems to be a common thread among supporters. The goal isn't to punish everyone, it's to deal with a small percentage of individuals creating issues that affect businesses, visitors, and families alike. Also voicing support for the proposal was Reese Development. But there were also a handful who attended who were adamantly opposed to a curfew.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, there's going to be opposition. There's always two sides to everything. Opposition speaking out against the proposal were former Lake Ozark Mayor Dennis Newberry. Very interesting. Tony Geyer, Mike Page, who expressed concerns but also applauded the city for attempting to address these concerns in the first place. The new owner of Grandpa's Ice Cream over there, down there at the Strip, the new owner of Snafu, Carol Denicky, all kind of against this proposal. Many of these opposed raised similar concerns. They had, some thoughts. Would a curfew discourage families from visiting was one. Could it negatively impact businesses? Obviously, that would be a concern. Would enforcing existing laws accomplish the same goal without creating another ordinance? That's a very good point right there. So there have all of these good ideas. So hopefully they'll be able to come together. They're all fair questions, and exactly why this discussion is generated is obvious because there are some very legitimate thoughts.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting because this was a packed house, which is uncommon for these meetings. And the proposal that came before the board was modified during the discussion. Aldermen agreed to move the proposed curfew from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Move it back an hour.
Which seemed to be the general consensus was that a lot of people's staff were going to be down there till 10:30 or 11. And they also removed ballot or language in the ordinance that would have made business owners responsible for minors remaining inside their establishments after curfew. Those were significant changes aimed at addressing concerns raised by both businesses and members of the public who spoke. At that point, they were all kind of in unison, and Alderman Tony Otto made a motion to table the ordinance. His reasoning was simple and it was logical. He wanted additional time to ensure the wording and legal language were accurate before they moved forward. The board unanimously agreed. So today there is no curfew in effect. The proposal remains under consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably for a good reason. Keep that discussion going. This has clearly struck a nerve, though, no doubt about that. Supporters think a curfew would help prevent future problems, improve safety there on the Strip. Opponents believe the city should focus on enforcing the laws that are already on the books, right? If you're not existing the laws, what good are they? But you see that all over everything. The ordinance expected to return for discussion at the Lake Ozark Board of Aldermen meeting Tuesday, August 11th. So that's coming right up. That'll be at 5:30 in the afternoon. Until then, one thing's for certain, this conversation is going to continue.
Yeah, and it sounds like that a lot of the opposition and business owners thought that 10 o'clock was too early and that language that would hold them responsible. With those being removed, I'm not so sure that there is going to be as much of an opposition. However, one of the points brought up was Ozark law. That was a point of contention, and like what people see saying, well, that show has continued to tell people, come down, this is what they're going to see, where the other side of the argument said that existed well before. Ozark law just gives the community a real life look at what the Lake Ozark PD is dealing with. And so we have to do something. That is the police department. Of course, they responded. Chief Boren, he said, we would like to see something. And with everybody on the same page, maybe the amount of opposition at next Tuesday's meeting isn't quite as high because maybe it's been resolved. I thought it was good, though, to see so many people interested in what initially a lot of supporters of this thought was going to be a simple deal, right? Turned into a massive topic, which was not anticipated.
No, that's very fascinating. And just from my personal opinion, I think they should enforce like a curfew or something like that. If they're having a problem with juveniles on this strip, I mean, either put a curfew into place or the laws that are already on the books, if you're not enforcing them, and I've seen some stuff where, former mayors and stuff instructed police folks, hey, let them go, don't do anything there, be soft on all that, because we don't want to hurt the businesses down there. Well, ultimately, if things are wild and crazy down there, that's going to hurt the businesses.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure that, a lot of the businesses from the arcades and the ice cream, they're not really open as late as 11, I wouldn't think. And even if they are, I'm not so sure that I want my minor child down on the Bagnell Dam Strip on Friday and Saturday night.
I agree.
Past that time. So hopefully there's middle ground. We'll keep you posted, and we encourage you to attend that meeting if you're interested. All right, next local headline. A 22-year-old life flown after near drowning in the Lake of the Ozarks. That's just a split second is all it takes, right? For a fun day at the lake to become life or death emergency. And this weekend, a 22-year-old Columbia man is alive today thanks for the quick actions of those around him after a frightening electrical accident on a dock. And his story comes as Missouri officials are warning that drownings across the state are already up a staggering 80% this year.
Unbelievable, yeah. I mean, that's a big number there. According to the Highway Patrol, this incident you talked about happened Friday evening about 7:45. Later in the evening, this guy was working late, 7:45. Gravois Mills, Morgan County investigators say the 22-year-old was working on a dock when he suffered an electrical shock, and they don't really explain that, about where that electrical shock came from. The shock caused him to fall into the water, where he remained submerged for several seconds before they were able to rescue him. He was first taken to Lake Regional Hospital, and then he was airlifted to University Hospital in Columbia. Serious injuries, so obviously this was a major shock. Thankfully, it didn't end in tragedy. Easily could have, and our thoughts are certainly with him.
Yeah, and I didn't say a whole lot more. Now, they said they were quickly able to grab him after he was submerged in the water. It doesn't say who made those life-saving efforts. Now, electrical accidents around docks are rare, but they are amongst the most dangerous emergencies that can happen on the water. Electricity and water are a deadly combination, and dock owners are encouraged to regularly inspect electrical systems to make sure they remain safe. Ameren Missouri says changing water levels, constant wave action, storm, and Missouri freeze-thaw cycles can all damage your dock electrical equipment over time, and many times those problems are not visible until it's too late.
Yeah, and this is a real thing. I mean, everybody nowadays, in the old days, you didn't have electrical out on the dock. You didn't need it. Now, you need it for your lifts. You need it for your refrigerator out there. There's a lot of things electric on the dock. Ameren says there are several simple steps that can dramatically improve dock safety. So think about this. First, dock owners should regularly inspect their electrical systems. That includes testing the GFCI outlets. That would make sense, right? The outlets with the test and reset buttons, and have a qualified electrician inspect the dock's electrical supply. And there's still a lot of docks out there like with extension cords. That's a no-no. You got to have the right electrical work out there. Second, if you suspect an electrical problem, never restore power when somebody is in the water, right? Leave the power off. Don't turn it back on. Don't reset the breakers. Don't reset the GFCIs. Don't re-energize the dock until the problem has been identified and repaired. Very important. And it's not just your family that's in danger. It's other families around your dock that get in the water. Perhaps the most important reminder, if you're swimming, right, and suddenly feel that tingling sensation of an electric shock or even a mild electric shock, don't grab the dock. Don't grab the ladder. Swim away from the dock. Move away from any of the dock cables because they're all metal, right? And come up out of the water on the shore, come up over the riprap or over the seawall, whatever, but stay away from that dock.
Yeah, that's been branded into my head since I was a kid growing up at Lake of the Ozarks from Amber, Missouri. If you swim, or if you feel a shock, swim away from the dock. I've seen it and heard it for years, and it's true. Now, the Missouri State Highway Patrol says drownings statewide are actually up approximately 80% compared to this time last year, prompting renewed calls for everyone to make water safety a priority. Many of those tragedies happen quickly and often involve situations that could have been prevented. Now, Water Patrol is reminding everyone, always wear your life jacket whenever possible. Never swim alone. Avoid alcohol while swimming or operating a boat. Closely supervise children around the water. Respect changing water conditions. And always be aware of electrical hazards around docks and marinas.
Yeah, and it's so easy at the lake just to forget all that, just you get comfortable and you have a barley pop or two, and you stop thinking. But if you've, been around the water at all, the water doesn't care, right? I mean, it's great when you're in it and you're hot and all that, but it doesn't care, when things go wrong. And of course, very busy time of the year here at the Lake of the Ozarks. This story, a reminder that safety should never take a vacation. You're on vacation, great, fine, but don't let the safety take a vacation. Thankfully, this 22-year-old guy survived. Let's hope he continues to recover. Let's also hope the experience reminds us all to take dock safety very seriously and electrical stuff very seriously. And I don't even know really what to do with those neighbors that still have the extension cords going out to the dock. Do you turn them in? I guess you go talk to them and say, hey, would you do something about that, right?
Yeah, or cut their power.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, all joking aside, in our next headline, it's our good friends at LO Profile. It's become one of my favorite times of the year. They list their Ambassadors of Hope, and for the 7th annual Ambassadors of Hope, it's incredible accomplishments for incredible individuals, and the class this year is a great class as you look at the list, Uncle Chris.
Wow, how about that, huh?
Yeah, so we got Donna Kambali, Marty Kahn, Max Crawford, Jeff Dorhauer, Amanda Fagan, Pagan Lynn Griswold, Coach Rob Harrelson, April Jeffries, Amber Koyman, David Platter, Ryan and Pat Teglow, Judy Tezak, and Lucy White. I apologize for any of those names I butchered. I was going to make you do it, and you weren't real
You
eager.
know all these people, man.
I do know a lot of them on there. It's really, really cool. Now, Tuesday, September 1st, from 5 to 7 at the Encore, Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar, they invite you for their launch celebration for the 7th annual Ambassadors of Hope as they honor incredible accomplishments through incredible individuals. And I always love this night because these people, they kind of uncover the veil and give you their story, what they've overcome. And it's going to be a great night. Invite you to be there. Congratulations to the 7th annual class for the Ambassadors of Hope. Missy Pinkle and her staff, they do a great job with that.
They really do.
And we always attend that event, going to be excited to be there. And if you attend, I'm going to need some tissues because I know you're, maybe that's me. It's always an emotional night, so be prepared if you attend. That's a good one.
Well, you and one of your life heroes, Coach Pinkle, I'm sure he'll be there, and you guys always have fun together. So
yeah, I hope he will be. All right, so hey, our next local headline, the exclusive medical provider and partner of Lake TV, Central Ozarks Medical Center, they appoint Dawn Ellen Schneider as CEO.
I am so happy to hear this. I've had the opportunity to interview her a couple of times on the Community Spotlight show, just talking about all the wonderful things that COMC does. And she's a local, right? I think she kind of grew up right there in the Richland area where COMC started. Her husband is a teacher, I think, in the Rolla School District or something like that. But she is so smart and so good. I'm just so happy to see this.
Yeah, and their official press release was announced, and the board of directors approved this hire. Schneider has served as the interim CEO, providing steady leadership while advancing COMC's mission. And if you wanted to know about COMC, it's a federally qualified health center, providing comprehensive medical, dental, behavioral health, optometry, and pharmacy services throughout Central Missouri. Under Schneider's leadership, the organization will continue its focus on expanding across to care, investing in innovative healthcare solutions, and improving the health and well-being of the communities it serves. And what's great is COMC, whether you have insurance or the ability to pay, they're there for you. And that's what makes them such a valuable part of this community.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard or looked up what COMC does, go to their website, centralozarks.org. I mean, they list it all out. They do behavioral health care, they do physical health care, of course, dental health care. They just started doing optometry for the eyes. They're all over Central Missouri. I mean, just go look them up because they're huge.
Yeah, and that mobile optometry unit is great. Like, I went and got my eye exam, got my contact lens prescription renewed. It was easy. It's really cool. They even walk-ins are welcome if you go and you walk in. Pretty cool. All right, so hey, do you remember where you were this last 4th of July? 1 minute the lake was packed with boats, fireworks, and celebrations, and next, one of the wildest storms in the Lake of the Ozarks history came roaring through. It was a day that nobody that experienced it will soon forget.
I will never forget the videos you sent of being in the boat on the water when the storm hit with your family. That was really scary. Well, here at Lake TV, we kind of want to commemorate one of the most unforgettable days at the lake, this big old storm. So we've created an exclusive limited edition collection of I Survived the 4th of July Hurricane at the Lake of the Ozarks. Classic, right? Apparel. We got some apparel for this. The design features America's founding fathers riding a pontoon boat, right? Fun tribute to the craziest Independence Day that a lot of us have ever witnessed. That was something.
Yeah, now look, they're available in 5 different shirt colors. We've also designed matching hats, which are perfect for the lake, the dock, and your next boating adventure. So whether you weathered the storm yourself or you just love unique Lake of the Ozarks swag, there's something you'll find through Lake TV. It's the only place you'll get them is right through Lake TV.
Right here, right now. And these are pre-order only, right? Okay, so you don't want to wait because they're probably going to sell out pretty fast. Orders close Sunday, August 16th, 11:59 p.m., just before midnight on August 16th. Once the pre-order window closes, that's it. It's done. It's over. This is your chance to own a piece of Lake of the Ozarks history, right? Infamous. Everybody's going to remember that storm on the 4th of July.
Yeah, go to mylaketv.com right now, and you can reserve yours right there. Say, order swag. It's easy. Shirts, hats, great memories. Pre-orders here today, so you can proudly say that you too survived the 4th of July hurricane at Lake of the Ozarks. Pretty cool stuff. All right, Uncle Chris. So we've spent the last several months, including earlier in the show, introducing you to one of the most inspiring people you'll ever meet, 81-year-old Robbie Harelson of Gravois Mills. From chasing a lifelong dream of playing with the Savannah Bananas to becoming a national feel-good story, Robbie reminded all of us that you're never too old to dream big. Well, today we've got another reason to celebrate Robbie.
Yeah, the Gravois Gators, right, officially capture this year's league championship. Incredible season. Apparently they just lost one game all year long, kind of like your softball team, right? You guys were pretty good this year. Many people now recognize Robbie from his unforgettable Savannah Banana appearance. That was so cool, riding out there on the bike and everything like that. Around Gravois Mills, he is known for something even bigger than all that. He's a coach, right? And we know how much coaches affect lives. For decades, Robbie has poured his heart into youth baseball, spent more than 30 years doing this, volunteering, mentoring kids, maintaining the ballparks, making sure the local kids can play the game they love. He's even invested his own time and money into this. He believes in the next generation.
Yeah, now the Savannah Bananas kind of gave the world a chance to meet Robbie, but the Gravois Gators know the man behind the headlines. Championships are measured by trophies, but the greatest coaches are measured by the impact they make, the lives they change, and the greatest coach in this area for those kids is absolutely Coach Robbie. Pretty cool, all the encouraging words he's given, the lessons about sportsmanship and perseverance, all those practices, those moments are far bigger than that final score. And I also want to give a shout out to Josh Butterfield, who was his assistant coach. You see that post on Facebook. This happened last month. And we wanted to share this, the crazy news cycles at Lake TV. We wouldn't let this one go. We wanted to tell you guys about the Graveway Gators League Championship with Coach Robbie Harrelson.
I love Josh Butterfield too. Awesome guy. Fantastic guy. So congratulations. Coach Robbie Harelson, Lake of the Ozarks legend, continues to prove that year after year, believes in others, goes out, and does all this. So from everybody here at Lake TV, man, well done, Coach. Way to go.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you go into Chances Are, which you do frequently, right?
Love Chances
There's
Are.
2 local celebrities that are on the wall in Chances Are. There's Sam the Hillbilly Hammer Shoemaker,
Yep.
and then there's Coach Robbie Harrelson with the Savannah Bananas. So pretty cool stuff. All right, now speaking of cool stuff, if you're looking for something fun to do with your family,
Yeah.
I invite you to join me and my family on Friday, August 14th. I've got the perfect event for you. It's the Camden County Lions Club's first annual Putt for a Purpose at Pirates Cove Adventure Golf. And it's all about bringing our community together, Uncle Chris, while raising money for projects to make a real difference here at the lake.
Big time. This is good. This is a big deal. It's an all-day community fundraiser. It runs from 9 in the morning till 8 at night, all day long. So there's some people putting in some time. Welcome families, individuals, businesses, corporate teams. Go play a round of mini golf. Take your chances with the raffle. The prizes going on there, drawings, virtual silent auction. Enjoy a day built around family fun. The first 50 kids ages 12 and under will play for free. First 50 when they come with a paid adult, thanks to William Holtz and Lake TV, right?
Yeah, our team, we thought this was great. Brindley loves putt golf.
Yeah.
And so it would be $10.50, but for the first 50 kids that come, we want you to golf. We want everyone to come out and have a great time. And what I really love about this event is they've raised so many huge auction items. And when you said 9 to 8, there's different, whether it's a corporate team, whether it's a family, whether it's just the kiddos, but there's something for everyone. And also want to give a special shout out to the presenting sponsor, Hedges Scott Millard Funeral Homes, for making this first year possible. So Friday, August 14th at Pirates Cove.
Yeah.
There's a few really great mini golf courses here at the lake, but that's our preferred, Pirates Cove. You've got the 2 different courses. They're different in difficulty. They got the feeding fish pond there. They have ice cream. We obviously frequent Pirates Cove.
Right,
So
yeah.
Pretty incredible. And a shout out to Marty Davidson and April. They've done an amazing job putting this event together. And again, we're going to be there. I'm trying to get Uncle Chris out there Friday, August 14th. Come have some fun.
I bet you really get into mini golf, don't you? I mean, it is serious stuff for you.
Andrew and I get pretty competitive. Yeah. And then it turns out that normally Brindley and Unique have the hole-in-ones, and we don't. So, all right, hey, before we leave, we got to do our encouraging words of the week. And speaking of encouragement, it's one of the simplest yet most powerful gifts we can give someone. The truth is, many people around us are carrying burdens that we can't see.
For sure.
A kind word, a phone call, a prayer, or simply taking time to listen can remind somebody that they're not alone. 1 Thessalonians 5:14 says, "And we urge you, brothers and sisters, warn those who are idle and disruptive. Encourage the disheartened, help the weak, and be patient with everyone." God calls us to be people who lift others up, especially when they're discouraged. So this week, ask yourself, who can I encourage today? You never know who God might use your words to bring hope, strength, and remind someone that He hasn't forgotten them. That's your weekly encouragement from the Word.
That's good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
You know how much it means too, right? If you're just in a funk, maybe you've gotten bad news, it's been tough, and you just get that unexpected word of encouragement or that pick-me-up can make all the difference, and then it reminds you, man, people around us, they need that.
Yeah, no doubt. We all do. I mean, we all go through peaks and valleys in life. Sometimes we just go through a hard time. Hey, lift people up, help them out, help them through it. You bet.
Love it. All right, so in case you're wondering what else is on Lake TV, you can check out the great Megan Opie from COMC. I've known her forever. She's amazing.
I just met her for the first time. So we were talking about COMC earlier. They've got their new CEO, Donnell Schneider. Well, Megan is part of the COMC outreach in Eldon. So she finds kids in need and stuff like that, and finds ways to help them. It's just an amazing story. But her family is very important in that community too. Big trucking company there and everything. So we talk about all that and so much more. Be sure to watch that.
And also the monthly market update from August with Jessica Bruce, the Bruce and Kelly team, and Team Brandy. Flat Branch Home Loans drops Saturday. That's greatness. Check that out. Also, Van Subaru mini shootout over the weekend.
Yeah,
Lake
that
TV.
was great. High school football coming up.
Yeah, it's coming in hot. Friday, August 28th. We're at School of the Osage. And Lake TV's got Eldon Mustangs, Camdenton Lakers, and Osage Indians football, as well as our weekly coaches show.
That's right.
Coming up. Well, that's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake.